Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the first ever episode of the Keel Show. Your host, Alex Keel, with my good friend and brother, sadly, Tyler Keel. Today we are talking about...
I was born first. I still want that to be very apparent.
Yeah. He was the mess up. I'm the perfect one. All right, so today we are talking about...
Sure you are.
We're going to be talking about the World Juniors today, and then also... Tyler's going to bring up the topic of shootouts and why he thinks they are bad. But first, before we do anything, thank you for watching the first video. We are going to be doing Talk Show Tuesdays, which today is Tuesday and we're doing the talk show. And then on Thursdays, we'll be doing some video game shenanigans.
So pretty much you'll see like our Talking Tuesdays on Wednesday. So it may make sense, it won't make sense, but we're talking on Tuesday, so that's why it's Talking Tuesdays. And video game shenanigans on Thursday because we couldn't come up with a good rhyme for Thursday. Yeah, I couldn't come up with one. I tried, but...
Purge Day.
Purge Day? No.
Thursday. Purge Day?
No, not purging. Anyways.
Purging the internet.
So, yes. Tuesdays we'll be doing this. Thursdays will be over there. We'd show you the set, but it'd look unprofessional if we stood up right now.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing any pants.
Goes all downhill from here.
Yes, it does.
All right. So, starting off with the World Juniors. Ty, what do you want to talk about?
Well, it was a great tournament.
It was.
I
thought it was pretty impressive.
Canada winning. Canada is the greatest. And I will go. I should know. If you guys watched Coach's Corner on Saturday, it was beautiful. Don Cherry did his Canada's the greatest thing, which is always the best. It's always fun. Always fun whenever Canada wins. So that's why I'm hoping we win the Olympics. Because guess what? If we lose the Olympics, you know what Don's going to do, right? Well, we didn't have. Wait, you do a better Don Cherry than I do.
Well, let me tell you here something, boys. I don't know. What did you want to say?
I was like, I'll tell you something.
We
didn't have our best players out there. Crosby was in the NHL still. We had a bunch of minor leaguers and European players. And I tell you, those European players were wearing off on them. I saw that. I tell you.
European players? They're all Canadian.
Well, I'm saying they were playing in Europe. Like a lot of those guys played in Europe or whatever. So it wears off on them.
Either way, our good old American boys,
Canadian boys.
Well, they're playing in America. You know, you got Crosby is playing in...
I think they're playing in South Korea. And we did the Ron McLean thing. Don, they're in South Korea.
Yep, Don.
All right, yep, okay. But no, but it was a great tournament. And I want to bring up like the Czech Republic, how that team should not have been there in the Final Four. That team should, and credit to them. I know Canada took care of the business there in the semis pretty handily, but it was just like for them. They beat Russia. They opened up the tournament by beating one of the teams that was looking to be in the medal round.
It was the first game. It was 5-4. It
was a close game, but still, the Czechs coming out with a win, and then they almost lost to Belarus, which was hilarious. But then. So they just had this very good run, and they barely had a tight game against Sweden, and that's what you need in World Juniors. Like you can't just, as much as we love Canada winning, and as much as that great it is, you need to have like versatility in the game. That's why when you see a Denmark go to the quarters, or you see Switzerland kind of make it to the medal round or something like that, or other things like that, or Kazakhstan getting promoted to D1, Kazakhstan. I'm so excited for that.
So I'll bring you back 5 steps here. You said that the Czech Republic didn't deserve to be in the quarters?
No, I didn't say they didn't deserve. But
you did.
No, I said
you did.
Well, okay.
You didn't deserve
if you look on paper, that team should not have been there.
Right.
But they worked and they had a great tournament, and it was a darn shame to see them lose, especially the way the U.S. took. The Czech in the bronze medal game that does not show in the game before that. They had a really good tournament. I'm really happy that they had a good tournament. Maybe that's a big thing for Czech hockey in general. Because
absolutely, to be in the bronze medal game. When you got the teams like you got Finland, Sweden, USA, Russia, Canada.
Finland didn't even make it to the semis.
Well,
they got ousted by the Czechs.
Correct.
They got ousted by the Czechs.
What I'm saying is, overall, if you go back in the past 5 years compared to only 1 year, Finland's been a top contender. They've always been a good team with good heads on their shoulders, and they just know how to play hockey. But obviously, when
that was a team that was only 2 years ago.
This was a little bit of a weird.
They won the goal year, yeah. Except for Belarus getting relegated. I saw that one coming.
I want Latvia back.
You want? Well, you know what? Kazakhstan first, because this next.
Kazakhstan had one good player in the past 20 years.
That's Antropov.
Yeah, one good player
but
in
I'm
the past
saying
20
next
years.
Year, I want them in the quarters because the way the tournament is now.
I'm telling you right now, they're going to get relegated the first year.
Well,
Latvia's up.
Like Belarus, maybe.
Latvia.
But this thing is like the way the tournament is now. You have a quarterfinal, so there's 8 teams that make it. Literally the way it works. You win, you have a very good chance of getting in. You win and you tie. I think that's what Denmark did last year. They win and they lost in a shootout last year. That's all you need to do.
Well, yeah.
So Kazakhstan, all they're going to have to do is, I think Kazakhstan.
It's like saying.
I know Kazakhstan's not in Canada's pool next year because Sweden.
No, they're going to be in. I think they're actually going to be in Belarus.
I think the United States is in the other pool.
I think they're going to be with Belarus.
The
pools? Well, for this year, I have the pools up. It was Canada, United States, Denmark, Slovakia, and Finland for this year, and then Russia, Sweden, Czech Republic, Switzerland, and Belarus. So I'm pretty sure, looking at their group for next year, I would not be surprised if they had the Slovaks, Belarus, Switzerland, and Russia in there with them.
Okay, I got it right here. So, wait, 2019, right? Yeah, 2019 World Junior. So, Canada will play Russian group play. They're not going to play. They're not going to play the U.S. That's going to be something. They're not going to play the U.S. and so that'll be the first time in a long time that's happened. So we'll get Russia and the Swiss.
Well, there's still the possibility of that.
I don't like playing Denmark because I feel bad every time we beat them. So the U.S. will play Kazakhstan. But Kazakhstan has Finland and Sweden.
Okay.
Oh no! How about no?
So it's half right there.
Right, and it's gonna. Well, the reason why is because like usually they have like the loser of. They'll have the loser and the winner of the gold medal game separate. Obviously, this year was different because they wanted to do the outdoor game.
Right.
So that's why
that was a great game.
It was a good game. It was a snow fest.
I mean, that's what happens when you have a game outside in Buffalo.
Buffalo. I will say this right now. Credit to the Bills Mafia. I'm going to say this now.
Bills Mafia.
That was the greatest thing ever. Did you not see all the?
Well, yeah, they're a bunch of crazy.
That was the greatest thing ever. They took over Jacksonville, which I mean, there's not many people in Jacksonville, anyways, but. Still,
that's what they do.
It was hilarious because I'm like, that's why I was cheering for them. Like,
I will say,
you had people drive 30 hours through snow-filled Buffalo down to snow-filled. Well, it wasn't really snow. It was still cold down in Jacksonville, but it wasn't snow-filled. But still,
it's that much snow. It's not a lot.
Yeah, you Floridians, if there's any of you watching.
No, well, you've been to Florida. I haven't.
Florida's very nice. It's ridiculously hot though in the summertime. Never go. That's why all people.
That's why you just gotta go in the winter. That way you can wear shorts and look at everybody else in sweatshirts.
And all the old people.
And Uggs.
Uggs, short for
ugly. But no, pretty good tournament overall this year. I was pretty happy with it. Czechs were good. USA had that,
Well, that's the funny thing is because I really. So I went to the dentist Friday, and. No, just wait. Keep going. I'll keep going with this. I went to the dentist, and we have TVs in our dentist, and they have Comcast. And I always know the Channel Financial Network, and I'm going to turn the game on because it's about 3 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I won't get out in time, but I'll be able to catch them the bronze medal game. Mm-hmm. And so they did all the pregame. So they did the pregame, and the first thing they mentioned was, it's kind of...
keep going.
Why are you leaning in for this?
Keep going.
So, what are you doing?
Keep going.
I don't know why I'm going to keep going with this. So... So they're doing the pregame, and there's this random girl who's probably never watched a hockey game in her life since before she got the job there at NHL Network. And there's this guy, they were talking about how it's like U.S., it's a darn shame. They had a real tough road to get to the final, whereas Canada had an easy one. And I'm like,
what do you mean?
Well, now wait a second.
Canada in the first day they faced Finland. Then I'm
talking about through the quarterfinals, which was true. Canada was the top seed in their pool.
Well, yeah.
So yes, they got Switzerland. Yes, they got Czech Republic. Whereas U.S. had to. Who did U.S. have to beat?
USA played Russia.
Oh right, yeah. So yes, U.S. had to play Russia, then Sweden, and then they would have had to play.
They still
Canada.
beat them 4-2.
What game are you looking at?
The quarterfinals.
Oh right, yeah. Well, I'm saying everyone's like it was a tough road, and I'm like, yes, it's a tough road. You want to know why? Your second game, you lose to Slovakia. I am just saying. You cannot say Canada had an easier road when you lose to Credit to Slovakians.
USA had a terrible year. They lost to Slovakia.
I'm just saying you can't be like, oh, woe is me. We had a really tough road. We wasn't easy as Canada. Well, you lost to Slovakia in pool play.
I have to stop us right there.
What?
They lost to the Czechs.
No.
Yeah.
U.S. They lost to Slovakia.
No, a tie. Oh, they did lose to Slovakia.
Yeah. No, yeah, they lost to Slovakia. But anyways, what I'm saying is, like, everyone's like, woe is me. Like, oh, they should, like, Canada had if you had a point, if you had lasted 2 more minutes against the Slovaks.
And you had a better jersey, but go on.
Well, they weren't wearing those sweaters yet. But I'm saying if they had beaten the United States in regulation, or Canada in regulation.
Go on.
If they had tied Slovakia.
Go on.
Then yes, it would have been, then US would have gotten Switzerland. Then they would have gotten the Czechs. And Canada would have gone through Russia, which would have been a flippin' great game to watch.
6-2, calling it.
It's already over. But
Next year.
I'm just saying, it's like, I see that and I'm just like, I know you're supposed to be on the American side because the NHL Network is a predominantly American network and you have to bump up your own team and stuff, but don't be like saying like, oh, they had a tougher road than Canada. Well, yes, because Canada earned it. For the record, Canada should not. I mean, let's be honest. Canada kind of blew the outdoor game. That should never have gone to a shootout.
I think that weather played a big part into it, especially for yourself, former goaltender. You have to think.
We played pond hockey before, playing goaltender. It ain't easy.
Well, it really isn't, because when you're thinking about it, all of the other players, they get to sit on the nice heated benches when
those are not nice heated benches. If you're sweating,
they're heated benches, and that's better than.
That's not the problem. Carter played it fantastic. Both goaltenders played really well.
I'm not saying that they played horrible. I'm just saying that it's hard because it's cold out. So even if you are sweating, it's still gonna hurt more than you would be playing in an indoor rink.
Right.
Or state, arena, whatever you want to call it.
Well, all I'm saying about
it's colder, and you get tired easier when you're playing outdoors.
Well, you get more stiff. Yeah,
you get more stiff. You're getting colder, and then the more your body has to heat itself up, and it's using more energy. Right. So, unless you're drinking Gatorade like the Dickens,
well, I'm just saying,
got Red Bull in it.
Yeah,
Red Bull. We need Red Bull on the show.
No, we do not need Red Bull.
Red Bull.
That'll be for one of our video game shenanigans. But it does not give you wings.
It gives you wings. It's in their slogan.
You tried to jump off the roof when you drank it one time, Alex.
Yeah.
You want to know how big the hospital bill was?
It wasn't big.
You didn't have to pay for it.
We didn't go to the hospital.
You don't remember because you woke up at home after we got you out, because we had to clear you out because they said we can give them this and they'll keep them under for longer. I'm like, we can't afford it.
It was fine.
No, you weren't.
It was fine.
You were in a coma.
Okay, he's going on a tangent that doesn't exist.
That you remember. Well, I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Anyways.
But, yeah, it was a great tournament.
And then kind of spanning off the outdoor game, I'd say there was pretty good attendance, and then shootout.
We're not getting to that now, are we?
Oh, we're getting into it.
Well, I've said before, in international play, I've kind of just lost my faith in international play when it comes to that, because I'm like, you know what? IHF, we don't do it that often. But the NHL, in terms of the shootout, should take it into consideration. They don't need it.
Yeah, they do.
Why do they need it, Alex?
Because it's an alternative aspect to finish off the game.
Well, okay, Alex.
Why do you think that they shouldn't keep it?
Because if you watch 3-on-3 overtime, if someone said, hey, it could be Arizona versus Dallas, two teams I could give an absolute flying about, and guess what? And you say, hey, they're going to 3-on-3 overtime. Well, alrighty then, I will watch, because guess what? You're gonna have their three most skilled players, you're gonna have Sagan, Spezza, and who would they have on defense?
Regardless of the roster,
and then you'll have Max Domi, Anthony Duclair, and Ekman Larson for Arizona.
So you're telling me
I'll watch those 6 players play. So everyone else can go.
So you're stating right now that 3-on-3 overtime hockey is more entertaining?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then you tell me why there is less 3-on-3 highlights for overtime play in the NHL than there is for shootouts.
Because shootouts are just one play.
It's like taking the gladiators. You have the shooter and the goalie. 50% chance. Now, if you have like something
50%. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 50%. Either it goes in or it doesn't.
Really? Is that how every shot goes? Except for high percentage shots and analytics and Corsi 4 and all that other stuff.
Let me say right
Calculator.
Now, before going on the show, one thing I had thought when I woke up this morning was, when you're playing overtime hockey, especially in, say, like the playoffs where it doesn't exist, and you're doing multiple overtimes over and over again.
That's drama. That's a heart attack.
Yeah.
You remember, I told you how I was.
Playoff hockey deserves overtime drama.
That double overtime game in game 2. You can ask my roommates. I was having it was an out of body. It was something it's something I've never experienced.
So when you have something like that, when it's double, triple overtime, even quadruple overtime, if you're really tired and it's a 2 a.m. game.
I'm still.
Well, it goes to 2 a.m.
That's
game.
What coffee's
But
for.
still, that kind of drama belongs in the playoffs. When the playoffs, it's all about the drama towards the cup. That's what they're pointing it to. But let me keep going here. Okay. I'm on a roll. Steamrolling.
I was about to say, are you on a croissant roll? Or are you on
a croissant roll? Croissant. Anyways.
Isn't it like Bressois? They changed it up this year. Or no, it's Laurent.
Laurent Bressois.
You see, it's got to be Laurent Bressois.
But what I'm saying is, you don't need that kind of drama when you're talking about regular season hockey. When you're talking about regular season hockey, the point of playing each game is to win, hopefully in regulation time to get 2 points, or if you go into overtime or the shootout, you get a point out of it, right?
Right.
So the point of the game is to win and get points to go to the playoffs. So something like the shootout makes more sense because you're having a quicker outcome, and I would say it's, in my personal opinion, it's more entertaining than 3-on-3 hockey. Now, because I say that, because I've thought of multiple games that I've either attended or watched on TV that the game ended on either a BS penalty, a BS goal call, or some weird trickle puck in went off somebody's butt goal.
Or watching a second half back-to-back with backup in the net.
That too.
Against Washington.
We're not going there right now. We're not going.
We're
maybe somewhere.
We are 0-3 watching Leaf games.
Right now, we're talking about this.
We can't go to Leaf games, man. It's the one.
You can't go to Leaf games.
It's the one. You were there too. You're still over.
Well, for the record, you might have painted.
It's the power of the onesies, man. They're gonna happen, anyways.
So what I'm saying is, it makes more sense and it's far more fair to both teams to have an even, fair 50-50 one-on-one shootout situation to close out the game, regardless of who's shooting, because thankfully the NHL is still going with, they go down the roster and you can't bring back people like they did.
Like how international hockey does it.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taves.
Ah, yes, let's have TJ Oshie and frickin' Ilya Kovalchuk go after the goalies for 7 fucking rounds.
Well,
pardon my French, but that's a bunch of BS.
Well, technically, it was actually Kovalchuk and Datsuk, and Datsuk still couldn't score.
Well,
who was the goaltender? Quick was the goaltender.
Quick was the goaltender, and then
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky. You're back on the force. Here's your gun and badge.
But okay, I get it and I understand. However, I just feel like skills competition should be left for the All-Star week.
It's not a skills competition.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
it is
it's a skills competition in the fact
who's got the best hands or the quickest wrister that catch the goaltender off guard.
Yeah,
it is not there's no strategy except for
there's complete strategy.
All you gotta know is does the goaltender does he do his glove blow? It's not like it's not a team. Hockey.
Yeah, it's not.
Hockey is a team sport.
It is a team sport filled with individuals. Let me explain. Let me say this: when you're playing regulation hockey, or if you're in overtime or whatever, what's the point of the game? Take the puck, get pucks deep, get pucks to net, score.
You can't get a puck deep when you're in a shootout. No,
yeah, you can. Okay, goes deep every time.
I will say this: after the lockout, when they brought the shootout in, I thought, all right, cool, the shootout's back. Because for us, when we were growing up here in Grand Rapids, we were watching the Griffins, and they had the shootout in the IHL.
Yeah.
That was up, like, oh, cool, and it just got
think of It was so dramatic because
no one was skilled back because they weren't skilled. They just shot it and hoped it went in.
That's how you do it with shootouts now, even.
No, it's like, but
it's still the same way.
It's a.
If you got a third line defenseman that wins the game,
don't you start talking about Doug Malik or whatever the hell his name is.
Doug Malik was a hero in that game. I don't care.
Did he ever play another hockey game? Did he?
He played a couple. It was kind of like the same thing with drawing a blank here. It's the same way where you hit your glory day, you hit your peak, and then everything after that, you're under the radar.
I'm trying to think of a player that happened to now.
Chris Chelios?
No. Chelios was like 46, 47. He was old.
Well, yeah, but then didn't he play for the Kalamazoo K-Wing or something like that? No, he played for the Rockford Ice Dogs or Ice Hawks.
No, he played for the Wolves. He played for the Wolves to help out.
He played with the Wolves with his son, by the way, the only pairing in Jake Chelios.
But it's just like
he's a good player.
No, he's not.
He is.
He's awful.
No, he's not. He's a solid depth defenseman
on an American League team.
No, he could play NHL hockey.
It's like saying, "Hey, man, I was a good backup goaltender. I was a solid backup."
If you were to look after we do this video and everything, if you looked up Jake Chelios' statistics, you will see that he is actually quite a good penalty killer, and he's a good third line defense.
So was my buddy Chris Summers. Chris Summers is a great skater and a solid defenseman, stay-at-home defenseman. Here's the problem. It's not how it works. I love Summers to death, and he's really good, and and sometimes you're not capable of playing at that high level. Where are we go? How did we get here? Oh, we got in Doug Malik. Oh.
We were talking about Doug Malik.
You brought up
Doug Malik.
That man should, if I ever see that on another TSN top 10, I'm going to smash my phone. Oh, shootout moves. It's why is that number one? Why is that number one?
Because
it should never be number one. Because guess what? I can do it. If I can do it, it should not be on number one.
If you think about it this way, if you try hard enough, anybody can do the Datsuk move.
You need edge work for that. Wait, which one?
The one that he did all the time when he was in Detroit. The
Datsuki
Deke.
Well, okay, if you listen to Ken Daniels, anything he does,
Datsuki and Deke.
He made a step to the left.
He made a step to the left. Datsuki and Deke.
Another step to the right.
It's like if you're watching a Detroit Red Wings game and Nicholas Kronwall. If he made one hit, like he just barely bumped someone in the boards. Kronwall.
Those boards were shaking.
If you go back a couple years and if you brought the same rules that we have for leaving the ice now and put that against Kronwall, he'd have been suspended.
That was like 10 years. That was like 10 years ago. Like it's so weird. Like how we look back now. It's like rule 37, rule 30. I forgot what the rule was.
I think it was 36.
Rule 40
is 36.
I'm gonna.
Regardless, while he's looking that up,
39. Oh gosh, click this.
There's a lot of rules that have changed since if you're looking back even 10 years to now. A lot of stuff's changed for the better, for the worst, but
that's not real.
Tying this all back into shootouts, for better or for worse, I'm gonna say, in my opinion,
definitely not Rule 39. Rule 39 is unsportsmanlike conduct of abuse of an official.
Or if you play the beer league hockey game, molesting an official.
Yeah, why'd they change the name again? Was that like a marketing thing or something?
It was
the Bush Hockey League.
Bush Hockey League?
Was it the Beer Hockey League? No,
that actually was a PR thing because they obviously, I mean, you got, children and stuff like that are playing that are playing it for the hockey. That they're playing it for the hockey, or maybe they've watched Slapshot before. Good on you for watching.
Now that's bad parenting. Then if you have a problem with it, that's bad parenting. If you can't let your kids watch Slapshot before they're 8 years old,
pick and choose.
So my parents.
Our parents.
Well, you watched it with me before you were 8 because I watched it before you were 8. You watched it with me.
They still let me watch it.
Well, yeah, because
they could have told me to go in the other room, but they didn't.
No, because they knew you were going to throw a fit, probably.
Heck yeah, I was going to throw a fit.
What is he going to do when I can't? That's exactly what you would have done.
Exactly. What's your point?
The point of the matter is, you got to do so much. Like you had to do everything with me because I want to do what my brother does. And oh man, see it was
the same way. You wanted me to do stuff with you.
Well,
want to know why? Want to know why? Because Oh my God. As soon as you had a younger brother, you were like, oh my God, I'm not lonely anymore.
Well, you know how hard it was to try to get Dad to wake up from a nap to play hockey with? All I had to do was smack you upside the head and you'd play. At least you'd stand in front of the goal and I'd shoot it at you. But that's none.
Hey, you want to play goalie? I'll make you breakfast. Okay.
Oh, no.
20 goals before
20 goals before breakfast. It's going to happen. That was ruthless. Remember back when our knees could take that kind of abuse? I remember when I hit puberty. No.
Remember when my back was straight?
Yeah, sorry.
And not cracked?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Not even you. Is a lot of stuff.
Well, a lot of abuse. Well, yeah, because you don't know how to lift.
I'm talking about band.
Oh, well, that's because you don't know how to lift.
I know how to lift.
I've seen you lift up a bench. You're just like, oh yeah, your back's strong. It's muscle. No, it's not.
It's the biggest muscle.
Yeah, it's not the strongest.
The bigger it is, the more you gotta use it. Am I right, guys?
Who says that? No one says. No one says that.
That's why I said it in a dumbass voice.
You gotta cover this swearing, because eventually we're gonna have to put the explicit thing and other stuff like that. Pardon me, I burped. Coffee's getting to me.
Fuck. Anyways.
Anywho. But
I'm
going to talk about the shootouts though more because I'm going to write an article about it. I got the stats, the stats of how 7.5% of all games since they put a 3-on-3 in have gone to only 7.5% have gone to a shootout. Before that, 12.5%.
Yeah, feel free to go on to his nice little blog there.
Holdthepucks.wordpress.com. Unfortunately, I'm not rich enough to pay for a premium site, so I have to stick with the free. And that means you have to type it in. You can't search. Actually, no. If you go on Bing, you can search it. You can search Hold the Pucks. I did it once. And I searched it. I'm like, hey, look, I'm the first one. And then I go Bing. And then I go on Google. But thankfully,
that's like looking up social media on Bing, and the first thing to come up is MySpace. Yeah. Dane Cook still got that market on lock.
Yeah. Because I remember. You can still search it on Google.
What?
You just
MySpace?
have to go. No, my Hold the Pucks blog. Here's the problem. You have to go through the Steve Dangle Reddit.
The Steve Dangle Reddit.
Because I posted it one time.
If you're looking on Bing, go through Bing to get directly to his. If not, you have to go through the Steve Dangle Reddit.
Or we can we put it down here? Can we put it?
We can put it down here.
Wait, okay, hold on. So if they're watching on the laptop.
If you're watching on your laptop, it's down here. No, if you're watching on your phone, you have to click it and then it'll be down here. Well, and if you're watching it sideways, you can't watch it.
Exactly. You have
to click it and then turn your phone right.
You have to turn it upside unless you're one of those schmucks that, doesn't have screen rotation ever, so he never gets to watch a video in the best way possible.
Yeah, I do.
Barely.
You just gotta click the thing.
Well, why don't you always have it on?
Because if I'm going through my if I have the regular phone screen out, if I'm
if you're drunk doing this,
no, even if I have my phone horizontal to the ground, it does the stupid crap.
Well, that's not my problem.
It's a personal preference.
Well, personal preferences. You know what they say about those.
Yeah. Like how shootouts are better than 3-on-3 overtime.
Yeah, you don't even let me finish. I was about to say, you know the thing about preferences, right? They're always preferred. Ron McLean, ladies and gentlemen.
That's going to be enough for us. Alex Keel and Tyler Keel for the Very Keel Show. Well,
hopefully this one, if you're watching this, obviously it uploaded. Because we tried doing it on Thursday, but it didn't work. I should have tweeted everyone that we were recording. Oh, well, I'll tweet it 100 times that it's up because I'm an idiot.
It's up! It's up!
We did it! We did it! It's going to be some dumb gif or something like that of it's like Wayne doing this or something. I don't know.
It'll be Steve Dangle doing Minnesota hockey. Minnesota hockey all day!
Yeah, just... when your video finally goes up, because I'm going to tag him in it just so he can watch it. He won't watch any of these. You know that, right? Okay, actually, you probably don't care, but you know what? It'd be nice. I thought about wearing the LFR shirt, but the way the Leafs played last night, can't even bother.
We are shutting down.
Oh, we have to do that?
Damn. We're shutting down.
We're shutting down.
Alex and Tyler Keel.
But you didn't shut down, though, did you?
I did shut down.
Oh, I didn't shut down.
You don't need to shut down.
Just close. I want to shut down. Okay.
Alex Keel, Tyler Keel, Very Keel Show. See you next time.